Hello, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefarak, and I'm with Translucent Truth Yoga, here to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of January 16th, 2023. So these are timeless readings, and what that means is that I record them each week with the energetics of what is happening this week in this present moment. But what you can come back to these videos anytime and use them as an oracle, so you can just kind of go through and ask for some guidance and pick whatever video you're drawn to. You don't even have to watch the whole video. You can kind of scroll through and just kind of pick a spot and go, okay, what guidance do I need to hear, and then listen and enjoy. So this week, it's Tuesday, by the way, when I'm recording it. It's like 5:46 p.m. It's dark. I'm in my car because I just needed to be in my own space today and record it. And it's taken me all day because, like, wow, like what a day it's been internally, emotionally, for my heart center, and we'll find out why. And yeah, so it was just 1:11 on our time. So I'm just gonna get into a couple of things that are going on this week, and then I have this interesting write-up that I want to read. It's about Mary Magdalene and the resurrection of the feminine, Christ consciousness. And that's really exciting, and that's today. So and it has to do with going back to Mary Magdalene's feast day back on July 22nd of 2022. And so I'm really excited to get into that. And look, I didn't even notice I have rose and skulls. So Rose, the ever unfolding rose, is Mary Magdalene's lineage, right? Or the rose, sorry. The rose lineage. Not the ever unfolding rose is a card from a deck. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go through it the way that I wrote it. Awesome. And then I have my cards here too, and we'll go through that. And I have that. Okay, perfect. So first things first, I'm gonna talk about Mercury going direct. Okay, so Mercury is going direct on Thursday. Okay, so that is January 19th, 2023. We talked about Mercury retrograde last week, so if you wanted to go a little bit deeper into that, then it's last week, but I am going to kind of just touch base on a couple of things, because now that Mercury will be going direct, we're now going to be getting to work with these Mercury in Capricorn energies in a different way. So Mercury rules over our mental realms, shapes how we take in information, process it, and share it. And archetypically, it represents learning, logic, information, technology, communication, and planning. And then the Capricorn, so Mercury is in Capricorn, and so the Capricorn energy, it's an earth sign, it's grounded, it has a practical approach to life, it engages with discipline, persistence, and structure. It works within and makes the most of earthly limitations and laws of matter. Determination and resilience are the encouraging energies influencing us to ask ourselves, what do we wish to contribute, and which path should you pursue? So Mercury retrograde invites us to take our time and consider, evaluate, and question our paths. Period of reflection. It's a period of reflection on our goals and our ideas in our relationships with structure, organization, planning, and boundaries. As Mercury goes direct on Thursday, January 19th, we will emerge from our inner and outer turmoil with a new perspective. This will help you to make decisions that are more in alignment with who you have become and who you still desire to be. Mir lingers in Merc. I was like, what? Mercury lingers in Capricorn until next month, going fully direct February 7th and staying in Capricorn until February 27th. Okay, so I just wanted to read all that just to get that out, and then I'm just going to kind of channel so that I can make it all in a pretty box for you. So basically what I'm saying here is that Mercury is going direct on Thursday, okay? And what that means is that we're going to be having a more forward movement in the areas that Mercury rules, which is our communication. Which else was it? our mental realm, our communication, how we're taking information in, how we're processing it, right? So it's like the last 3 weeks we've been like in retrograde with all that, which means like we've been going backwards. It was just 5:05 on the time, and so like that means that like we've been struggling. There's been a lot of resistance, right, with our communication, with processing things, with taking information in, and with kind of like processing it back out of us, right? And so like what's going to be happening is that it's going to be going direct, which means that it will become easier and it will become more in flow, and we will be more in alignment, and we'll have greater understandings of all of these things that we've just struggled with for 3 weeks in this Mercury retrograde. And I'm going to talk about Mars going direct as well last week. I'm going to incorporate that a little bit, because that's really important to understand as well, because these energies are going to be working together to be pushing us forward, okay? And so then with the Capricorn energies, the Mercury is the communication side of it, and then the Capricorn is all about the organization and the structure and being able to see the big picture, but also have attention to fine details so that you can see the way there, see the end result, and see all the steps to get there, right? And so like these are going to kind of start synergistically finding this harmony together, so that we're able to just like have the idea and it just like come through us. Our creative spark's already there, right? And so with that Cancer new moon that we just had, or sorry, full moon that we just had, it was all about the home life. And so there's a lot of emotional turmoil, and like we were in Capricorn too, right? So we were like also having the structural side of things with our sun energy, right? So it was like kind of reconstructing the inner workings of our family life. And so we're still in that, right? But it's kind of coming more towards like us coming outside of into the world now. Like we're able to like now kind of find the structures and the communication lines and the different things within our home, so that we're able to then go outside of our home and start like doing the work that we want to do outside of our home. So I have here, it's not about being in control, it's about being in alignment, okay? And so like that's huge to understand, because like when our human mind thinks it knows what exactly it is that we need and want and desire, like we create a lot of problems and a lot of blocks and a lot of things, because we're like chasing things. Then at that point we're trying to bring things from over there to here, when if we were able to clear our energy and to clear our thoughts and to clear our emotions and to be in a higher frequency where we're not like having all this crazy energy all over all the time, then what happens is that these things actually just come to us, because we have so much space around us, just empty space for things to come in, right? So like the work is to clear out all the shit from your field, all the thoughts, all the emotions, and not necessarily clear them, observe them. And as you observe them, they'll come out, and then they'll clear naturally, because you're observing them and you're acknowledging them. And then it's like, oh, hi, okay. And of course there's times you have to go deeper into certain things, but you know, you can just work on that as a practice of like letting your emotions come up instead, and just acknowledging it. It's like, oh, hey, I feel sad right now, like that's interesting. Oh, I feel this way, oh, that's interesting. You know, just start taking notes and be aware of these things. So yeah, so it's when you're feeling like you're not trusting, like you need to surrender more, like you can't, like you feel like you need to be in control, remind yourself that it's not about being in control, it's about being in alignment. And when you're in alignment, then everything just comes to you naturally. Okay, so it's time to rebuild our lives. So utilize this discipline and organization energy. Okay, so that is the Mercury direct. Yeah, I might as well go to this Mars direct energy. I was going to do it last, but okay, so Mars direct energy. Mars rules speed, action, and activity. So align your life force to achieve your goals. So again, here we are talking about aligning ourselves, and not, you know, making things happen. We align. It's like, okay, so how do I get in alignment? You know, how do I align to my highest self? Well, you start taking actions in alignment that are going to give you the result of living the life that you would like to live. So if like you're not going to the gym and you want to work out more, it's like, okay, so then buy a membership. It's $5.55 and it was just $9.36 on the time here. So all them numbers, all about change and infinite energy. So it's like you're the infinite energy that you're looking for, but you have to put in that bit of energy to like get that energy rolling, and then it'll start to to nurture itself, right? As not nurture itself, you're still doing what you need, but then it just becomes integrated and a part of your life, right? Okay, so start to get some missing energy and drive back. So if you've been feeling really lethargic and low energy, and like, you know, it's that Mercury retrograde as well, affecting us, making us feel this way, but with this Mars going direct, this is going to help us move forward. So last week I talked about Mars going direct, as that is when it did go direct. I didn't actually mention that. It was last week that it went direct. It was retrograde for 2.5 months. So we've been in this direct forward energy in Mars for this last week, but it's not actually fully like at the speed that it needs to be yet. So it's like a slow speed up. So it's like the retrograde pulls it back, it hits its point, and then it starts moving forward again. But then it takes that time for it to actually be back where it is supposed to be, so that we're actually getting the full energy of Mars, not the suppressed, the stuck, the unable to move energy of Mars, but the forward moving healthy action of Mars, right? So that's coming back to us with this Mercury going direct and this Mars going direct, okay? And then I also have, I'm going to mention Uranus going direct as well. That's on the 22nd. I just won't get there quite yet. Okay, so clarity. So we're going to have clarity on what we want to do, our plans and our ideals, our plans and ideas, and can put these pieces together. So this Mars energy is helping us to have the clarity and to take the action, right? So to have the clarity on what it is that we need to take the action on, and then to take the action without it being a problem, right? So coming out of this slower moving retrograde energy, and we'll be picking up speed and movement once Mercury goes direct. Okay, so so I already said that. So we're coming out of this slower moving retrograde energy, and we'll be picking up speed and movement once Mercury and Uranus go direct. So Uranus is January 22nd and Mercury is January 18th. So I think that's Sunday, if I'm correct, that Uranus goes. So then on Sunday, then we're going to be having that forward slingshot, forward energy. So put together short-term ideas and take quick action on them. Use your mind to channel something positive and rest your mind. So Mars and Mercury are coming out of their reversals. That means that the last lunation, the full moon in Cancer on January 7th, was extra heavy. Retrogrades are a time to ponder life, and the moon in Cancer is the most emotional lunation we have. If the last full moon was about getting in Cancerian touch with feelings about goals, plans, and where we are going in 2023, then what about this lunation in Area Aquarius? Use it to find breathing room instead. Beautiful. Oh, that's great, actually. That's a great leeway. It is 13:13 on the time. Because then I want to talk about this Aquarian energy that we're going to be coming into, as well as this Aquarius full moon that we're going to be having. Sorry, new moon. Okay, so, is there anything else I wanted to say about this Mars direct energy, Mercury direct energy, and Uranus direct energy? Basically, just to chalk it up, these have been in retrograde for each different times. They're all going to be direct in the next week. And after these three planets are direct, we're going to be gaining more momentum with having clarity on what steps we need to take to move forward, and to have the motivation and the know-how and the energy to make it happen, right? So that's basically the gist of everything I've been saying here so far. So then we have Aquarius season. It is beginning. So, I actually don't have the date. Let me see. I feel like it's the 21st. That's weird. Yeah, the new moon is on the 21st. So, I think it's the 21st of January is the first day of Aquarius, or the 22nd. Sorry, I should have had that written down, but I don't. And if I was at home, I could Google it, but I can't get on the internet here. Okay. So Aquarius season is beginning. So this is on the 21st, okay, I think, if I'm correct. Just Google Aquarius season. When does Aquarius season begin? And you'll know. So when I'm saying that Aquarius season is beginning, I'm talking about the sun, okay? So the sun takes 365 days to do a full circle around the zodiac sign, okay? So each sign has the sun in it for about a month at a time, okay? And so this is the end and the beginning of the whole astrological clock, okay? So Aquarius marks the beginning of the astrological clock. So if 1 o'clock on the clock is Aquarius, then Capricorn is the 12, the last one on the clock, right? So it's the end and the beginning, right? And so we're coming out of this Capricorn energy and we're going into this Aquarian energy. So from Cap season of rational groundedness and seriousness, our efforts start to build momentum to bring shape and form to our thoughts and emotions. Aquarius season will ignite and color our sense of self, our inner invitations and desires, and our perspective of life. Aquarius is mentally driven, intellectual thinker seeking evolution, future-oriented, independent, and innovative. Our desires and our sense of truth will be shaped due to the energetic influence of liberation, progress, freedom, authenticity, and individuality. We are invited to step into the unknown, fearlessly, guided by your spiritual innate knowing of who you are and why you are here. Beautiful. Okay, so that is the energy of Aquarius. So yeah, so we're going to really be stepping into our power. So like after we've been in this Capricorn energy of like this very like structure, you know, focusing on the monotonous, the everyday, the daily tasks, taking action in that way, and then having that full moon in Cancer with us kind of going internal and finding ourselves you know, in our home life and how the structure is there, with now going into the Aquarian energy for the sun, but also this new moon, right? And so I'm going to get into that in a minute, but we're going to be really encouraged and have these like forward thinking ideas. We're going to feel very innovative. We're going to feel that motivation from all these planets going direct, and then we'll be inspired to want to be our own unique self and be of service to the world. So it's so beautiful because like Aquarian energy is very like humanitarian energy, and so like they're all about the community, but they're very about each individual having their individuality as well, right? So we're not all the same, but we're all one, right? We're all one, but we each are our own things creating the one, instead of, whereas Pisces is more like, you know, we're all one with no boundaries, right? And that's why Pisces is spirituality, right? It's the spirit, it's all the signs combined, right? Yeah, so with this new moon in Aquarius, so this is happening on January 21st, which is Thursday. So supported by action of Mars and expansion of Jupiter. So we will be receiving unexpected solutions to stubborn problems, emotionally scattered and confused. Intellectualizing emotions won't solve problems, and don't get offended by distance from people. Take the space. Okay, so like I think actually I'm gonna dive into these a little more, because again, like it's great, because like I almost didn't even want to record this today because I was like, man, like I am not feeling that great and I don't really know if I should. And then I asked my friend and she was like, well, yeah, like that's part of the energy update. Like you just like show up, and like if you know, like your heart's hurting and you've been crying all day, like that's fine, like that's part of the energy, and then people know that it's okay. So that's how my day went, and so that's how I ended up in the car, and it being nighttime and me recording it today, because I was almost gonna put it off till tomorrow, but I didn't. But actually it's because it's this whole Mary thing is why I didn't. It's like, oh my god, so exciting. I'm excited to tell you. So okay, so this new moon in Aquarius. So let me back up for a second. I just want to give you a little thing here. So new moon, the new moon is the beginning of a new lunar cycle, right? And the lunar cycle is about 28 days. And within that, it goes through the whole zodiac sign, right? So during the new moon, it's when you can't see the moon in the sky. It's called the dark moon. And it's a time of letting go, of planting seeds, and of setting intention, right? And so this is the time, while we're in Aquarian energy, to call in the solutions to our problems, right? Is to plant the seeds of like the solutions to our problems, because we're going to be receiving all of these unexpected solutions to problems that have been like really like bothering us for some time, where we have been hitting a wall, which I talked about last week with the Mercury retrograde, with the Mars retrograde energy of like hitting a wall over and over, and it doesn't matter how much you try or how much you change it or how much this or how much that. It's 6:06 p.m. because spiritually, you know, like there's lessons that are needing to be learned, right? And then that takes time and energy and effort, right? So it's about trusting the process, and it's about creating that space. It's like slowing down, going within, creating that space so that the information can drop in and you can receive the messages that you're needing. So that is divinely guided action, right? Where you're listening and then taking action. And then emotionally scattered and confused. So like, I just want to stop there for a minute and like talk about that, because I'm already feeling that. Like, that's why I like wasn't gonna do this today, because I was like, holy, like I don't even know if I can, like I don't know if I have the capacity to do that, and like I'm gonna be all over and shit. But here we have it, just to validate, we're going to be feeling emotionally scattered and confused. So yeah, like that is how I feel. Like I feel like my freaking heart is just like been, and like I am so fucking confused right now, and I have no idea like how the fuck I got to all these places, okay? So it's like frustrating, and it's like, yeah, I have all these problems, stubborn problems, and now this new moon, I am going to just call in solutions to my problems, and I'm going to plant the seeds and be open to receive from the universe, because really, like, I'm done with this suffering. It was just 22:02 on the time, all about balance, right? I'm done with this suffering, and I'm done with poverty, and I'm done with lack mindset. Like, I would like for us to be able to rise and to be able to live an abundant life and to live in our essence and what we came here to do. So this week we're going to be feeling emotionally scattered and confused, especially on Thursday. That's the new moon. So that will be heightened, and we're already in the energy 3 days before and 3 days after the new moon. We're in this heightened energy of the new moon, okay? And so we're already coming into that. We're going to have this rising up energy. We're going to hit the peak, and then it'll come down for 3 days after the new moon. And that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Sunday is when Uranus is going to be going direct again. And that's when we're going to get a big push forward. So the energy update next week should be quite positive and quite forward moving. Oh yeah, and then intellectualizing emotions won't solve problems. So like, you're trying to solve problems by understanding your emotions, and it's not going to solve the problem, because like the emotion is just going to be there whether you understand it or not. It's about working through that emotion. It's about letting that emotion up and out, and it's about, like I said, creating that space to let them come up and out, your thoughts, your emotions, and then once you learn to create that space, you allow for them to come in, right? And then yeah, don't get offended by distance from people. Take the space, okay? So like, with all of this, like having our emotions all over the place, trying to intellect our emotions, unexpected solutions from stubborn problems, no, not that one, but you know, having our emotions scattered and confused, and trying to intellectualize our emotions, and like having all these existential questions about how you're here to serve humanity and live a life that you love, like all of us are having that right now. So we're gonna need distance from each other and take it, instead of, you know, feeling like you need to like keep poking the bear. You need to actually create the space so that, again, the divinely guided action can drop in. Okay, and then we have, guys, oh my god, this is exciting. So next up, we're gonna talk about this this divine feminine Christ consciousness energy resurrecting. So what I'm gonna do is just actually read this. So there's this guy I have on Facebook. His name is Trevor McGrath, and I'm literally just gonna going to read you this. I'm not going to read it all. It's like really lengthy, but I just want to get the gist of this, because like I can't believe that that today is this day. Oh, and by the way, also, I'm telling everybody to buy a lottery ticket today. That was my message. I woke up this morning and I was like told, buy a lottery ticket. And I was like, oh shit, okay. It was at 6:49 in the morning. I went to go to the bathroom and Source was like, buy a lottery ticket. And I was like, oh wow, okay. So I told everybody. So you're part of everybody now. And so even if you find this video like down the road and you do the whole thing where you're like just finding a spot to listen to and you're like, buy a lottery ticket, this is it. Buy a lottery ticket. Okay, so here we go. In 2021, the Cathar prophecy. Oh. Okay, good. Whew. Okay, a call was coming in. We're good. Okay. So in 2021, the Cathar prophecy will be fulfilled. Every year on January 17th at the Church of Mary Magdalene in the Rennes-le-Château, the anomaly we know as the blue apples at noon will play out. The sun shining through the Lazarus resurrection stained glass window of the church will cause blue and red orbs of light to dance in the church. In the summer, these blue apples or orbs appear again on the feast day of Mary Magdalene, July 22nd, in the Lincoln Cathedral. The summer symbolizes the full fruition of birth, which is spring. 2021 marks 777 years from the feminine crucifixion of the Cathars at Montségur. 777 is the number of divine intervention, and this year is a 7, guys, don't forget. Ségur means for sure or safe in French, and Mont is generally mountain. Ségur equals secure. The mountain of safety and peace, same metaphor as Zion. In 1321, the last pure Cathar, or what they called parfait, perfect, Guillaume Bellebaste, was burned at the stake by the Inquisition and declared that in 700 years they would return. 700 years from 1321 is 2021. In this prophecy made by Bellebaste, he also stated that the laurels would turn green again. The good people will return. The good, or God in people, is Christ consciousness. The laurels turning green is indicative of many things. The mother, nature, thriving once again, despite the odds modern day means have placed against her. Laurels are flora, the green. The trees, shrubs, flowers, etc. will rebirth. The divine feminine will resurrect. Also, the laurels turning green make me think of the symbol of the fleur de lis, the symbol of the priority that has protected the bloodline of Christ and Magdalene. The priority of Zion, or the property of the safe mountain, one could say, which is still metaphorical. The fleur de lis, Christ's blood in humanity, will turn green, heart, balancing the blue orbs, pineal, and red orbs, perineum. We are all born Christed. There comes a time where someone is born and remains unusually centered in the Christed nature. The birth of this particular sort of Christed being marks the awakening of the supreme atom that lies at the solar plexus of every woman, child, and man. Meaning, when Yeshua, or Jesus, was born, it was a marker that a new potential was born within all of humanity. It wasn't initially intended to be idol worship. It was meant to be a metaphor that appeared externally to remind us of the internal stage we were collectively in. As within, so without. Will the Book of Love, collaborative text of Mary consciousness and Christ consciousness, be unveiled and re-uploaded into the collective consciousness of humanity? 3 days before the inauguration, the blue apples will appear from the sun shining through the stained glass window of Lazarus. Lazarus equals resurrection or rebirth. In the Church of Mary Magdalene, in the stained glass picture, it shows Yeshua, symbolic of Christed nature, raising his hand and raising Lazarus from the dead as he walks out of a tomb. Resurrection ceremony. Will this spark rebirth the laurels mentioned in the Cathar prophecy? Will the blue apples in Lincoln Cathedral marking the fruition of the green laurels during the day of Mary Magdalene, the feast day of Mary Magdalene, July 22nd, 2021? Prophetic days are usually markers more so than the actual day of some big event, but I find it highly significant that the inauguration is always 3 days before the blue apples in the Church of Magdalene, and that this year is the fulfillment of the Cathar prophecy, making this alignment even more significant, especially given it's shortly after then conjunction where Jupiter and Zeus, Jesus, makes Saturn, Kronos, spit out all that we wrongfully consumed. Karmic reconciliation. It's 6:16 and the time was 30:33. A parchment was found within the Church of Mary Magdalene stating the follows. Shepherdess no temptation that Pausin and Teniers hold the key, Pax 681, by the cross, and his horse of God, I complete his guardian demon at midday, blue apples. In the last picture below, there is a picture of the demon or daemon, guarded knowledge, statue found within the church. All of the pictures below are taken in the Church of Mary Magdalene in the Rennes-le-Château, France, except of course the meme. The daemon, knowledge, being completed resonates with Saturn or Kronos, karma and time, being made to spit out all that he consumed, the unveiling of knowledge to a high degree. The completion of the daemon, the blue apple activation. The second one is the summer is the general time frame of the Lion's Gate portal. The Saturn-Jupiter conjunction completed the daemon, red and blue apples dancing, and this happened Aquarius, which represents Ganymede, the cupbearer to the Olympian gods in Greek mythology. On a personal level, we still shift our paradigm at any moment and in turn contribute to the collective shift. On the collective level, we are in a time where the paradigm we all experience is centering back to the heart, love. The laurels will turn green and will return from the tangles of the convoluted brain back to the center of the body, temple. The treasure is in the chest. Whoa, right? So that was a lot. So that is Trevor McGrath. Trevor, Trevor, McGrath, McGrath, okay? So if you wanted to check him out on Facebook, he shares a lot of occult knowledge and different things. So that was the Mary Magdalene information. Now, it was just easier for me to read all that because, again, I don't actually have the capacity right now to be able to to put it into my own words right now, right? And again, that's why I basically read all the pages to you today, because it was like, man, like I actually don't have the capacity, and like that's okay. Like I don't really need to. Like I did a good job. I'm getting the information out, and we're connecting all the dots. And then when you come to this video, you know, okay, yeah, my emotions are all over. I'm confused. I don't know where to take action, but now you know that that's because we're being sprung forward very soon at the end of the month into these quicker, more paced, more clear energies, right? So you know, I don't really want to go too much more into that because I didn't really look too much into it, but I just wanted to read that because I thought that it was very synchronistic, actually. As I say, informative, which it was, but synchronistic that, you know, like I didn't do the energy update yesterday, and then that came to me this morning, and 6:49 the lottery too came to me, and it's like just showing like, yeah, we're supported now, right? And like my mom, I talked to her today and she said yesterday was like the best day ever, and like I was like, wow, because like I freaking blessed you so hard yesterday. Like me and my boyfriend, like we freaking put it out to our parents that they get everything that they need to not be suffering anymore because they've worked so hard and we're just tired of seeing them suffer. So then I talked to mom today and she was like, it was the best day ever. So there's like, you know, all these beautiful synchronicities and confirmations that are guiding us along to show us that we're exactly where we need to be. But you just have to learn the language, right? Learn your language. Okay, so I'm just going to now pull some cards. Looks like this is going to be a shorter update. I want to get into this Lightworker Oracle deck first, actually. It's a little bit of a heavier deck, but I just feel like that's what what we're being called to do. So what energies are we playing with this week? Actually, so real quick about that whole feminine energy. So the last 6 months, there is stuff I do want to say. I just don't have it written down. So the last 6 months, so going back to July 22nd on Mary Magdalene's feast day, and then to today, January 17th, 2023, these energies are actually like, I'm seeing like a wormhole, like a time, it's like a quantum fold, right? It's like when two points that are far away come together, it's like folding a piece of paper together, and then you create a wormhole, right? And then the space and time between the two don't exist anymore. So that's basically what I'm seeing. But within that was the dark feminine being purged, being clean, being purified, so that we can just be a woman now. Like, we're not dirty, we're not whatever, we're not blah blah blah, whatever it is that we're programmed, like, we're not that. And we're gonna be honored, and we're gonna be loved, and we're gonna be cared for. And not just women, children are part of that, as well as men. But the feminine is just that nurturing energy. So like, men can embody the feminine. I'm not talking about a man and a woman, I'm talking about the energetics, right? So like, men need to honor the feminine, and women need to honor the masculine, and vice versa. We need to honor both sides so that we can both be whole and then come together in wholeness, right? Like, I'm not half of the equation and you're not half of the equation. It's like, I am the whole equation and you're the whole equation, and then we come together and we create another whole equation, you know? So that I just felt was really important to touch on, is that like, we're really gonna be receiving like these really big heart activations and activations into taking action towards nurturing ourselves, mind, body, and soul. Perfect. So alchemical mutation is the first card. And it was reversed, so it means that there's a block there. And so again, it's like, alchemical mutation is basically what I've been talking about, is taking our lower thoughts, our lower emotions, and having a higher awareness and understanding of them, letting them come up and out, and not holding onto them and not suppressing them. So that's like taking a negative and turning it into a positive, or taking a misunderstanding and understanding it, right? Taking something that's unintegrated and integrating it, right? So that's the energy, but it's blocked, right? So it's like, well, we're not really sure what to go and where to go and how to get there. But then it's also paired with this second ray of wisdom card. And so when you're asking for guidance with this, you're being called to call in your higher self, because that's what's going to guide you. Your wisdom is going to come through. And again, that's the heart center, right? So it's listening to the heart center. If you're hurting, if you're wounded, if you're really fragile right now, then you need to rest. You need to slow down, and you need to create that space so that you can actually receive the information on what it is that you need to do next. Which again, I feel like a broken record now. Divine grace, the law of efficiency. Perfect. So again, I'm seeing this Capricorn energy with this, because it's like, instead of just like starting something and like letting it unfold, you could have actually done it in a much more efficient way if you just took a moment and thought it through, and then created that solution in a way that was direct, right? And so this is calling you to surrender more to the mistakes that you've made, to know that it's okay to make mistakes, that, you know, like, give yourself grace, and that in itself is going to create a more flowing energy within you, because you're not like all the time. It's like, oh, that's okay, you made a mistake. Oh, that's okay, you made a mistake. And that's going to allow for you to heal and grow the fastest that you can, instead of judging yourself and getting upset every time you make a mistake. So that's really beautiful. I like that message that came through. And we'll do one more out of this deck. Okay, initiation by fire. Beautiful. So this is our action. There you go. Action. It's that fire energy, right? So we're going to be feeling like more energy building to help us to get what we need. But it's deep. It's coming from really deep within you. Like the sounds that the voices that you're going to start hearing that are guiding you, it's not outside, it's inside, right? And so like this fire inside of you is what is going to initiate you to take all of this action, right? And all of these cards came out upside down actually. And so like there is going to be this big block in order to be able to, give yourself grace, to be able to create the space to take action when you need. Like it's a lot to balance it all, but we're being supported with this Aquarian energy for us to like fall in love with ourselves, our individuality, right? And to how we can become a part of the community as well, and to help and serve people. And last, we have hold your center. Okay, so whenever you're being pulled or swayed in a direction, then you're being asked to come back to your center, to come back to neutrality. If something pulls you, come back to center, come back to yourself, okay? That's how you're going to make it through the week, is coming back to center over and over. Okay, now we're going to go with the Angels of Abundance deck. So, what would you like? Words of abundance. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms, and that is what you attract for yourself and others. Beautiful. Okay, so this week you have to be very conscious of our language, be very conscious of the words that we're choosing and the things that we're saying, as that is what we are manifesting. So things are going to be manifesting very, very, very quickly. And so like when that happens, you got to be aware, are you thinking positive or negative, right? Like, are you worried about the worst case scenario, or are you knowing and trusting that you're always taken care of, right? And so you can know that through the words that you're speaking. Become more conscious of the language and the words that you're using, because that will show you like what you really mean. Exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. The key to manifesting quickly is to have very high energy levels, and the easiest way to increase them is through physical exercise. Choose a fun and meaningful activity so that you'll look forward to exercising and it becomes its own reward. Perfect. So yeah, it's time to exercise to increase your abundance. So speaking more conscious, kind words, more positive words to yourself, and doing a physical activity, something that is getting the energy flowing, because we can get trapped energetic emotions in our physical body, and then what happens is like we get cranky all the time, when if all we were doing was like exercising regularly, drinking our water and eating some healthy food, we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't be carrying all that. Moonlighting. So you can start working on your dream career part-time while keeping your other job to pay the bills. Soon your dream career will take flight and fully support you. So this is talking about you wanting to have your own business, you wanting to work for yourself, right? Employment change just came out as I was saying that. Yeah. So instead of getting depressed and feeling like you're stuck, you can actually just keep your job. You can keep doing what you're doing, but start brainstorming, start having these ideas flow, and start taking small actions that are going to get you to where it is that you need to be. And then eventually you quit your job and you can support yourself financially through your own business. So visualize abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualize eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will experience. Beautiful. Detox your friendships. Your abundance flow is being affected by the people with whom you're spending time. So be discerning about your associations and relationships. Choose to be with people who are inspiring, generous, and supportive. And last but not least, ask for your needs to be met. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make a free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Perfect. So don't be afraid to ask people for help. Be conscious of the words that you're speaking. Use your mind to visualize abundance in all forms, meaning don't get tripped up and think abundance is just finances. It's so much more. It could be your health. It could be a new home. It could be a new car. It could be so many things, right? So yeah, okay, I put those all away so I can't give you the recap anymore. Okay, let's just do this. I'm tired and like my brain's like not working the best today, so we're just gonna cut it short. So if you're feeling that way this week, know that we probably all are. And just be patient and be kind, be gentle. All right, Archangel Michael, what would you like to tell us before we leave? Detach from the situation. Archangel Michael, I ask to use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama so that I may be centered in the knowingness that peace is everywhere within me and this situation. Beautiful. So I forgot about that. I talked about that. So this week, especially with this new moon, we're really going to be being asked to take our space. Take your space. Take your space. Just take your space this week. Detach from the situation. Call in Raphael to cut any energies that aren't serving you, and to call in your higher self and your whoever it is that you're working with's higher self to work through you. Guarded and protected. Thank you for protecting my loved ones and me, ensuring that we're safe and that all of our needs are met. I now accept your help gratefully and gracefully, knowing that it is right for me and all others to accept heavenly assistance. I love that. So you are guarded and protected. Go forward fearlessly. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand and giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. So yeah, there it is again. Let go of fear and move forward fearlessly. Okay, last one here. Take your time making this decision. Archangel Michael, please help me with staying strong and help me stay strong and relaxed as I approach the situation. Remind me to detach and step back, allowing the situation to naturally unfold. Thank you for protecting me. Oh, and last one, sense of humor. Thank you for helping me see the humor in this situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I am willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. Awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful. You and your loved ones are safe. That's there too. Okay, guys, that is it. That's what I have in me this week. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that you enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope it was like all right to follow, because like again, like I'm kind of all over the place and I'm in my own stuff, but hey, I made it. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it, and just be gentle with yourself this week, and know that there's a lot of shifts happening right now, a lot of transitions, a lot of changes. Just make sure that you're nourishing your physical body, that you're doing things to, you know, help your mind relax and that balance out your emotions. And yeah, know that good things are coming, and that we're just coming out the last little squeeze of this really intense energy. And then we'll be on the other side being supported for a little while at least, right? To give us that boost and to give us that breath again, and to give us the excitement to get back into life. So be conscious of the words that you're using this week, because they're creating your reality. So what is it that you're saying? I'm sending you all the love, happy healing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.